Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, folks. Hey, Gertman. Hey, Rod and Martin. Hey, Andres. Hey, Bryce and Keith and Kobe. Hey, Kevin and Wick Central. Hey, Raj. How are folks? Hey, Clownhammer. Let's see here. Since Mr. is right here, we'll just do this instead. Hey, Joel. We're going to finish up Spool Bot today, so it can be ready for me to take to SMRRF. Hey, Lord Get Face. Hey, Stuart. Hey, Bill. Mr. Attention. I got a little bit of a headache this morning, but it's not bad. Oh, hey. So what I have left to do is clean up the wiring on that, build a couple of battery packs. I've never done the little spot welder method of building battery packs. I've always done soldering before. So we're gonna play around with that and see how it goes. So Oscar is ready for attention, ready to be in the middle of everything. How's everyone's week been? Mine's been hectic. Finally got, where are they? Where's one? Here we go. Here's one. Got what I consider basically a perfect cube out of the 00 Voron 2. It turned out really, really good. I was admittedly not getting good cubes out of it at first. Turns out I did need to slow it down from what I was trying. And yeah, this is Galaxy Red. Yep. Hey, John. Hey, Surf. So yeah, I'm very happy. I got 2 of these in a row, so I'm calling it good. It is ready. I think we were having some heat creep issues, but it turns out that the files out there for Voron 2.1 are not perfect for, I mean, there's reasons why there's revisions to the printers, but Max helped me do a new tool head that better directs the hot end fan flow through the fins of the heatsink, and that is going to improve things a lot. I suspect that it'll be a better ABS printer than a PLA printer. Let's put it that way. Dude, you just want all the attention. What do you have there? No, that's okay. I was just looking. Here. We'll do treats. We'll do treats real quick. Get the treats over with. Maybe he'll stand aside a little longer. Hey, Tuxedo. I am on the, oh, hey, there we go. Now I get to dig into another treat bag next time. The little piece right there, we can take it. There it is. See it? See it? See it? There it is. Okay. There you go. Okay. Oh. Throw that away. Okay. Let's see here. I don't really need well, maybe I can use the Lazy Susan to some effect. Hey, Bob. Spool Bot time. Yep. This is one of the brackets I made to hold the gantry in place on the Voron 2 for shipping. It bolts to a vertical extrusion and then holds the gantry at this height. I think it'll work fine. It's probably overkill. Cheap bearings and motors look like boarded the slow boat. Oops. Let me know how those go. Let me know how those go. So, when we left off with Pooch on Monday, I could not get the Arduino environment to install the board manager or anything. So when I went off to my other computer, everything worked just fine. I think the error message we were getting, which was basically it was timing out, I think it was just timing out. Because I've since, let's see, this is some of the documentation there, but I've since redone it here on the computer. And if I plug in the bot now, it will come up and show the ESP32C3 dev module as it should. And hey, Thomas, hey, Andres. And it seems to work. So what I had to do to get everything working is install the linked ESP32 board manager files, but also include a couple of libraries. I had to include, let's see where it shows up in here. Does it show up? Well, if I manage libraries, where does that end up going? Oops, I don't. Manage libraries, oh, right here. So I installed a PID library, and I installed this one by Brett Beauregard, and the Adafruit BN008. Does that come up? Yep. The Adafruit BN008X for the 085 library. Now, it will, if we verify and compile it, it will come up and do that. I watched a year-old video today, and Steve, you and your better sensorless homing macro were mentioned. I don't know if I have any better sensorless homing macros. I would have used someone else's, but how did you find out? I compiled it, and it gave me error messages, and then I searched to figure out which ones I needed. But right here, it kind of gives you a hint. It's including here in the sketch. So this is the project that's out there on his GitHub. You open the project file, and this gives us a little bit of information, like which board to use. Make sure you enable the USB CDC on board for USB debug messages, and it requires this certain IMU. But down here in the includes, we have the Arduino one, but then we have the Adafruit BN008X, we have a PDI, and then EEPROM. So I didn't have to specifically install an EEPROM one. Why is this? Didn't I say to verify and compile? I think it did. I think it already did. I just missed that. Hey, DeathCube. So before installing those libraries, it would simply give an error. You can't find PID_v1.h. So it did that, and then you could go to Sketch and upload it to the board. Now this is already uploaded. Hey Kobe, take care, be safe. This is already uploaded to the board, but PWM inputs will require calibration. Use the USB-C connector to access the serial terminal type C and press enter in the console and follow the instructions. So if we go to the tools and go to the serial monitor, let's move this up over here so you can see it a little more. So it's communicating with the board now because I've got it plugged in. It says load calibration data. Now it's all messed up because I did this to test and I didn't actually have my controller, so the wrong data is out there saved. Maurice. The wrong caliber. So we'll do that again. So with my little remote here, what it's basically saying is sensor was reset, setting desired reports. Let's turn the controller on. And then if we type C and hit enter, it says PWM calibration instructions, move controller sticks through the full range of motion. When done, return to center and press any key. So it says press any key. So I'm just doing space and enter. Now it's polling the PWM values, and then you just run this through the full range, and then again, and it saved the calibration data. Just watching my fight with Pooch about some VHB. It's always a good time we have Pooch on. Always a good time. So that's really all that we have to do with the Arduino environment. The sketch is uploaded to the ESP32. We've done calibration. Now everything else is just cleaning up the wiring, and so I can unplug this, clean up the wiring, and get the batteries going. So I've got a few things I want to do. You are going to be right here front and center, aren't you? You've already had treats. Here, that's where you want to be. Yep, right there. Nice warm bed. Nope. He should be here as well. Well, you know, we're both traveling a lot, and he travels more than me, and he has taken the opportunity. He's busy today, but we didn't do this yesterday because it gave him an opportunity to be home for a day. So I don't blame him. So that's why I figure, you know what, this is good thing for me to do today. Gets it done. Gives the little turd here an opportunity to be completely in the way. Sit on my keyboard. Stupid tail. Move this out of the way further. Okay, so one of the things that I struggled with that I didn't really like solutions for was these power wires. Now this power goes to the blame Pooch. Yep. Goes to this extra port on the receiver, and what that does is allow the receiver to send a signal to the controller that reports on battery voltage, the input battery voltage from the from this. So I am going to, because it hooks up to main power in on this little DF robot board, and there was no great way to plug that in without adding wires to the ferrules here or something. I had an idea though. So we're going to modify this, and we're going to add a port. I'm simply going to add a port. So that's what we're going to do. Now it means that I'm going to undo all of my wiring. We're going to have to go through the setup guide again and get it all fixed, but I think it'll be worth it. So let me grab some pieces. Hey, Howie. Drivers. I need to get this drawer organized. It is getting more and more full, and it's getting harder and harder to find the right drivers. What I am missing, and I'm gonna have to be right back because I'm missing my cheater glasses because I accidentally sat on the ones that are out here and broke them. I have like 5 pairs of those scattered around. It's just since I sat on the ones and broke them, the ones out here aren't here. So I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, I just order them in like the 5 or 6 pack off of Amazon, and it's been fine. It's been quick. What do we got? Message here. Oops, caps lock is on. Steven, if you're around, I don't know if you're here, you asked if I was going to Murph this year in stream chat or in Discord chat. Very unlikely. There isn't a new Be Right Back loop. Hey there, Ranch Kid. Okay, so what I want to do, and basically this is just going to require, I'm just going to unplug all of this. I'll figure it out. Otherwise, I'm going to be recrimping some of these, I think. That bent somehow. I'm going to be recrimping some of these anyway. So, and especially these motor wires. I just temporarily threw the terminal in there. I bought some, these are cute, 28 gauge bootlace ferrules. And then I got some 24 gauge ones, just as having some extras. Dancing Oscar video loop. I'm hyper multitasking today, watching this while catching up on part 1, 3D printing a box, upgrading from Windows to Linux on my shop laptop. That's a full plate there. Okay, so that should all come out, and then I'm going to take this board off. So what my plan is to take this board, what do we have here? We have these pins, and what I think I'm just going to do is I'm going to take a JST, I think I'm going to do pH. I think I'm going to take a JST pH socket, 2-pin socket. And I'm going to just basically glue this to the bottom side. I think it's basically mostly going to just be solder holding it in place, because I don't know that glue is going to actually stick to this stuff. I'm going to put that just on the bottom there. And I'm going to confirm here that I have enough room. Yeah, I've got enough room to do it. It's not gonna... So that's what I think I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna add a port. And basically just do that by holding that there, bend those pins over to touch the... use those to solder directly to the input ports. What do you think? I think that's a good idea. Oh, shoot. Yeah. I can't think of, there's nowhere else on here that I can grab VN. So if I just put that right underneath, there's room for it. It's a nice connection. It can be disconnected and changed around easy. Printer spool is going to go burr today, Brent. That is for sure. We'll just grab them all. There we go. It doesn't really matter what we're doing as far as where this stuff is. So I'm just gonna take this and bend these over a bit. Oh. Then the in is right here. So basically I want to bend those over a little more because I think I'm just going to make that flush with the end. Maybe I'll try, I don't know if it'll be effective or not, but I'll try putting a little bit of CA glue on those. Those shrouds melt easy. Yeah, but I'm nice and quick with the solder. I'm nice and quick with it. Oh, shoot. we pushed so hard on the iron last time. My little foam. How fun. I didn't notice that. But, let's get this back off of here. We pushed on this so hard that it pushed the little grip up over the front of it. Get in there. Yeah. Wow. That ended up very... I didn't notice that. Jeez. Would have been better to notice this when it was still warm. It's moving slowly, very slowly. There we go. Ooh. You know what? It is way hot out here. I think I still have, it's like in the 70s, low 70s here. What is it supposed to be today? It's supposed to be 74 today. Let me turn off the, I think I have the heater still on in here. I may even turn it to cool. Let's turn that off and turn this to cool. Whew. There we go. Okay. Whew. It's warm. Okay, so this is coming off. Put the small tip back on. I'll have to play around with that some more. I don't know. Hopefully this still works. Okay. Set that aside. Oops. That's as close as that gets. A couple of Q-tips and IPA. Here we are. clean this real well. And I think this side. Can I get this on there on that side? No, it's a little too tall. It should be though. That's the way it should be. Let me see if I can bend this a little more. Let's see how this sets. Oh yeah, that'll work. I'll just glue it on that side. Bend those down, make sure I haven't screwed it up on the inside there. It's looking good still. And that hooks right there. So, take a little cleaning off of any fingerprint oil I put on this. And this glue should work better than most because it has the flex agent in it. If I ever decide this was a bad idea, just a little drop, some acetone will clean this off, I think. So now this is just going to set on there. Just like that. Those are basically touching. The terminals, the leads on that are basically touching where I want it to solder on. Then a little spritz of activator just so I don't have to wait forever. Yeah, that's to a light touch, it's doing just fine. So now I'm gonna grab that and this, and you know what? I am long overdue for replacing this. I'm gonna do that. It's at the point where it is flinging little bits of that Brillo pad all over the place. So I've got spares that I had picked up. There we go, nice and fresh. I've had this thing forever, this little tip cleaner piece. Okay. Let's see here. I'm either gonna stick my head in the way or we can use this little camera. There we go. It does, doesn't it? It really does. This little camera is so fantastic. Okay. There's one. There's two. Yep, that is nice. Nice shiny fillets all the way up. That all looks fine. Yeah, there's no. Lots of solder there, which I kind of wanted because I want that to be a lot of surface area of the solder on there. So this has as much strength as possible. It's going to get most of its strength from those solder joints. That CA glue is just to hopefully keep it a little easier to plug in. Oops, not there. So that little bit of my idea is done. Now we need to get it back on the thing. So before we do that, let's go through here and kind of figure out what we want to do with these wires. Let's grab this. Oops, all this stuff can go out of the way. Yeah, that's going to be nice, I think. So this goes on here like this, and I had those going under. That goes there. I got a lot of extra wire here. I'm kind of wanting to figure out how this is going to go. I may take these. This is that motor. And can this go under and then come around this way? Yeah, I think so. Let's take it. Let's take them under this bundle here. So this is going to be a lot of little fiddly wire routing is I think what we're going to be in for today. Just kind of the biggest thing I see with wiring something like this is just making sure that everything is constrained and out of the way of moving components. So to that end, as much as I can pull things through and kind of use other bits of the bot as built-in kind of ties. So I'm going to put this under here, and then this I think is going to go here and loop over. This is going to go there. Those are going to end up getting a lot shorter. So now this, that goes there, that goes something like that. And then these are going to reach over and just barely plug in there. And that'll keep those short. It does have some here, John. There's some zip tie spots in various areas. That goes there. This is gonna loop around and just plug in right there. So that's gonna get shorter. This and this are, here, let's do that. Those are fine. Yeah, let's try that. Let's put. It does have some, but I'm actually, honestly, I don't know how many of them I'm going to use. I may end up pulling this board on and off a couple of times, kind of fiddling with it. Okay, so this is going to basically loop around and plug in. So I'm going to cut that off to about there. Grab the tools. And a 2-pin PH. And these guys, no, it's these guys, and a couple of terminals. There we are. Okay. Cut those off. Now I need to pay attention to, so this is going to plug in right there with positive to that side. Here. Do my typical color the top of the terminal for the positive sides of things. Just makes it easier. Wires get in the way. It's a lot easier to see this color. Yeah, let's just go all the way across. There we go. No mistaking that now. Okay, so if that is going to plug in that way with red that way, and this goes that way, that means we're going to crimp them this way. All right, it's a little fiddly. There we go. One and two. So has everybody gotten their raffle tickets for the War on 2 Serial Zero? I've hit almost $7,500 on that. That is amazing. I am going to package it up over the next few days. My goal is to be completely ready on Monday. And really hope that TSA is kind to it. Okay, so now this is gonna loop around, looping around, and gently, very gently, plug in right there. And this can tuck down there. There we go. So now, let's see. This one goes here. Tape a $20 bill to it. That is all that's important there is that all that's out of the way. Now we've got a couple of wires. So those are going to be able to tuck underneath the board. So I'm going to leave these as long as they are right now. But let's cut them. Cut them off. There we go. I don't know what size wire these are. I think it might be the 24. That's the stripper side that's working well. So I'm gonna grab the 24s. So I want to see if the 30s will even work, or 28s. The tighter one is the way that I'm going to want to go on these. So let's find out. Get a few of those out. I need to make a little spot in my bins for those. Yeah, those went on there just fine. I feel like the tighter that is, the better it is. As long as they go on without bunching up the wires, those went on fine. Okay. Finally got around to making reservations for Rocky Mountain. Not going to drive this year. That's a long drive. That's fine. Okay, so let me get the wiring diagram. There's our wiring diagram. I'm going to use that as a reference. So this is front, right? So this is the front facing forward. Left motor would be this one. So that is these. So right motor does go into these here. Okay. I will be at Rocky Mountain. I am driving with Max again. Yeah, that's way better. Way better than using those terminals. And then just tuck those under the board. Okay, that's that one. That means that these are left motor. And let's see where those are going. Left motor encoders. So left motor goes to the one closest to the edge of the board with white on the outside. That's the green. So that goes right there. And I don't know that I can really make that any shorter and it's not worth it, I don't think. So then the blue and green go over. So this is blue, green is ground, blue is power. So this basically goes right there. And I don't think there's anything I can do to improve the length on these wires. So I'm just going to leave those right there. So that goes there. We have the other motor. So this is, where is this actually coming from? This is, oh, this was the left motor. This is the left motor. I was wrong on that. So these go here. No. Yes, these go here. I'm backwards. I'm backwards. You guys didn't correct me. Okay, so those are going there. If I can pull these over here. I want to keep wires as long as I kind of can. And I think I've got enough room here that I can just kind of tuck those off to the side and put a zip tie. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave these all the way. Hey, John. I'm going to leave these full length because I think I can use a little zip tie to make sure they're out of the way. But these guys get moved over because these because this should be the left drive motor, right? So maybe we do some labeling. This is right. That marker is not. I need some actual paint pens. Right. Right. That means that this is going to be left. Left. I think that's good. And then I'm going to print a couple of labels. Where did my label go? They're over here. I need a right and a left. On. Create label. Right. Left. I don't think I need anything other than that. Print. You know, I realize when I do something like this, I can just pull the cartridge out without doing the feed and cut and save a little bit of waste on this by cutting it manually. What do we got here? I want to go because I'm in Philly. Okay, real quick, right and left labels. Let's get these cut off of here. Oh, did not expect that to go flying. I found it. There we go. Okay, so double checking here. These are going to be, these are left. Yeah, labels was definitely, labeling is a good thing on this. Oh, it feels so much better out here with the AC going. I'm running AC. I'm running AC right now. Isn't that crazy? And then right. Thought I heard him say yodels instead of labels. About to start singing. No, you will not hear me sing. Okay, I think I can squeeze this over. So this should be the right. Yep. That'll go over there just fine. And then these will go over here instead. There we go. Right, and then we are going to strip these. Till you prove me wrong, I would believe that you have a beautiful singing voice. You can do that. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Okay. So now, this, I'm going to send these under here. Where's my tweezers? Tweezers, tweezers. Oh, come on. There we go. There. And then around and under here. There we go. That looks good. And a little bit off from those is fine. I am going to Rocky Mountain, Kyle. How you doing? I'm going to Rocky Mountain. I'm still trying to make Japan happen, which is why I'm probably not going to Midwest. Okay, I am happy with that. That is nice and tucked. I can tuck those under the board a little more. I've got power for the telemetry. I've got, those are in the wrong spot, so these end up going, that one's fine because that's just power, but this one goes white to the outside. So this one flips around and plugs in right there. Okay. Be there with hyperdrive? Awesome. Okay. Now, so that is left motor, now right motor. This, what can I do here? I don't want to send anything out this side of the board because that's really close to where the stuff runs. So actually to that end, I may take these out and move them to this side of the power so that they're kind of forced. So this goes here, and this one comes around and can plug in to one of those. Doesn't really matter, but that forces everything to the center of this. Similarly, this one can go here, and we'll actually pull this in on this side of this and plug this in right there. So then that kind of forces that to come over towards the center of the bot here. And they do kind of loop around each other, but that'll help keep the wires managed. And these similar, I don't see any reason to shorten these. They're pretty good on length right here with the way I have this. So that I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of, they're going to do a little holding arms, locking arms. That goes there. And now when I get a little zip tie around all of this, it'll pull all of those kind of out of the way of all this other stuff. So cool. So that almost looks braided. We got all these that are going to come around here, and in a similar fashion, the Matt said 100 millimeters on these wires, and that's pretty darn spot on, because this will get zip tied together as a bundle, and these plug in right along here. So I think we're good there. The only thing I'm not sure about is this. So this guy can come through, and that'll probably just zip tie. I'll probably just zip tie the antenna here along with this bundle that's coming across. So let's see. Maybe I was expecting, actually. We'll see what happens when I start getting into power, because these power wires I think are a little off. I may be resoldering and shortening power wires, but the rest of this is looking pretty darn clean. Servo wires. We've got one here. Channel 1 is going to the blue on the end. Okay, so these are just going right here like this across the blue connector. Those are just going there. So now this will come down here and zip tie and lay in place like that. And then power comes all the way. So we'll come around here and we'll plug these in. These are the only things that plug in over here. So we'll plug those in right there. So now all of that will just lay in like that. And that's pretty much our IMU is all that's left. Yeah, let me get a zip tie. I took my zip tie box to the other garage. Did I leave any of them over here as part of the build? No, yep, here they are. I don't need to go. Hey, Andrew. Should up it a little. It was at 80 and the range is 70 to 90. What are you working on, John? What's a good bed temp for PETG? I can't get it to stick for the life of me with glue down as interference. I usually run PETG at 80 to 90. Okay, so basically this whole thing here can probably just come around like this, and this will just grab all of this. And that doesn't have to be tight, but that just grabs all of that and makes it very neat. Nothing else should be going through there, so that zip tie is fine. Cleanliness of the bed. And make sure you use an interface layer if it's PEI. PETG will bond to PEI and rip it. Smooth PEI. Okay, IMU. IMU goes to the last power plug for the 3.3 volt power, I think that is. And then these pins over here with yellow on the end. So if I come through here, actually, let's pull this under here. Oh, that's all kind of interesting. I'm going to pull this. Yes, good call. Good call, Tuxedo. Dry PETG. There we go. That was... I have this purposefully doing a loop over here just because I don't want to cut this thick power wire, at least not yet. So, but it was wrapped around the other wires a little awkwardly. Okay, so that can come here. And if this zip ties with all of these, that's really not bad. So let's take this under all of these. This is a bit longer than it needs to be, but that's okay. We can pull at that spot there. If I can avoid crimping these DuPonts, it looks like I'm going to be able to. So blue is to the outside, so that's going to go there, and then this guy is going to go. Where'd my tweezers go? There they are. This guy is going to go. This is a very, very tough to hit spot. Here, why don't I move these over one? There's 3 power. There we go. There and there. And then this guy can come through here. And go right there. And then all of this, that should all be good. So now Follow that there. I think I can grab this, give this a little light bundle there. And a light bundle here. And one more. Down along all of this. There. That is not going anywhere. Not going to get in the way of the works. And that's really the goal here, is just keep things out of the works. There's nothing in the way there. Easy to get to the power switch. Everything's plugged in. Everything's seated. Let's check our diagram. IMU is blue to the outside. The channel 1 is to the outside on this little blue connector. 1, 2, 3 in order. Our left motor, left motor is on the outside, white to the outside. Yellow, oops, this one's backwards. This one's backwards. It's white. So let's see here. That's why we double check. And that was not difficult to get sorted. So white, yellow, white, yellow. Oh, it was still hot, yeah. And then green is ground on these, and blue is, I think that's a 3v3 header. So those are all correct. Okay, wiring is, that wiring is done. So I'm comfortable with that. Do I have the battery out here? Yes, I do. I'll plug it in and see if it works. Okay, so right now I've got one end looped because this is set up for two 5 volt or two 12 volt, two 6 volt nickel metal hydride packs in series to make the 12 volts. Hey, buddy. Put these away. So if I loop that end connector, I can use this 11.1 volt 3S LiPo for testing. Okay, everything should be good. So let's take this and plug this in. Okay, and that, yep, there it goes. Matt does say that when the DF robot gets power, it does run the motors, which is less than ideal, but that's a limitation of this controller. So now we can turn on our receiver, and there we are. Awesome. I am getting input voltage 11.9 volts, and the receiver or the transmitter voltage is the 4.0 volts. So 4.0 volts for this thing. It is USB-C chargeable, and then 11.9 volts is what I've got on this pack. So to activate this, you hit channel 3, and then it should go. Okay. It is not. Oh. Okay. It is, okay, so it is responding to activating. So watching Matt's video, he goes through the functions he has built in to the controller. To start the robot, you hit channel 3. I have a feeling it's not calibrated. So. We shall see. Let's turn it off. Let's turn it off. We will play around with that in a minute. We will play around with that in a minute. I want to play with... Jeez, that is tight. I want to play around with spot welding. It steers, Tuxedo. This is the fixed side. There are 4 screws that go in, and this goes in here, and attach the center hub to the fixed side of the spool. And then this is the moving side. So now it can differential control of each side to steer or go forward. So it goes forward by utilizing the counterweight on the hub to use gravity to go forward. Okay. Has anybody, because I have not, has anybody used one of these spot welders? It is a zero radius steer, yep. And Matt's got a lot of neat little drive modes built in. Okay. Let's put this over here. I'm not quite sure what I've got going on, why that wasn't working. It was working the other day, so we will need to confirm that I have things plugged into the right spots. But yeah. They don't let you touch those things. We are spot welding the batteries. Where is the batteries? There they are. So we have batteries. So you cannot find, or it's very difficult to find, the 5-cell hump packs that is required to fit within these spots here, right? So these are effectively, these go in here like this, and this is the battery configuration, right, like that. And there's 2 of these, and then they have to plug into this, and things have to tuck into the right spots. I think this will have to pull up into the area above the motors to plug in, but yeah. So for one of these packs, we have to, these will end up doing something. I don't know the exact configuration, but we'll figure it out. You have to get a note from your parents. I do have this neat little thing that I think is going to help. So this is just a super simple, super 3D printable, but when I got this probably 20 years ago, it was not an option. But this is a stick pack jig that I can do something like this and put these in, and that will help hold these in place. These are 1.2 volt cells, so these are nickel metal hydride. I bought the 3800. There are 5,000 milliamp hour cells available, but they were $20 more for the set of 10 cells. One of the most important things, yep, and you want less pressure than you would think, Bob. You want a lot less pressure. So I'm not gonna immediately go to spot welding cells. We're gonna play around with just the nickel strips. And I'm gonna put something else down so I don't burn up my plate here. What am I going to put down? What am I going to put down? We'll figure something out. They still make nickel metal hydride. Yep, that's what these are. They're just harder to find, and they're hard to find in pack form. Especially this configuration, 5-cell hump pack. No, this is completely series configuration, Tuxedo. All 10 cells will be in series. So 1.2 volts times 10 cells is 12 volts. So these are all 1.2 volt cells. So we're just going to go in series, but we need to get, so I have a couple. I actually have 2 battery spot welders I'm borrowing. Here's one. Isn't that funny? This is the battery spot welder. I'm borrowing this from Dana, my friend who built the V0 with me on stream. We could have made them for me in the stores. What? Are you kidding me, Bob? I could have had these made and not spent time, precious, precious time. I didn't even think to ask. Where is, let's see. I'm not going to use those. Let me find my nickel strips. Nope, not those. Not those. There they are. Been doing it for 30 years. Those cells are pre-charged. Gonna have some level of charge on them. I don't know how much. So I got a bunch of strips. I don't know if these are big enough. I just picked some. Actually, I don't know if these are big enough. Noise canceling off? Oh, it very well might be. I think I turned it off at one point and maybe I forgot to turn it back on. If so, it's been, oh yeah. Noise suppression's been off for at least the last stream. I don't know if these are wide enough. What do you think? Let's see what I have. I might have some in this other box. Which leave some with me. Oh, everything is really wide. Maybe these aren't as wide as the other. Hey, Killer Prince. Hey, Collie. Yeah, I didn't know you could do custom packs either. This is probably what I'll use. This is the stuff that came in Pooch's. It looks like a little sanding disc. Okay, so that, and this is all, and this whole robot here is fairly low current draw. So I'm not too worried about the strips. Let's see. Get some tin snips. And, hey Liz, what am I going to use? Just grab one of these. I think this will work. Little piece of scrap wood. Okay. Little piece of scrap wood so I don't burn up my table. So let's just grab just a couple of small strips here. Hey, Troy. 6-volt lantern batteries were 4-cell because that is 1.5 volt cells. So these are the leads. You can use any Prusa reusable, Collie. These were a 1 kilogram spool ends. The only difference is the width of the cardboard in the center, and you're not using that. So. Dude. Your claws. Here, go. Okay. I don't even know. Oh, dude. Stop it. He's a pest. He is a pest. Instructions. Okay. Let's see here. This is charged. I've had this charging for a while. Let's see. There's some indicators. So what is... So we've got these. So which is which button? Manual spot welding key. A few new spools of Prusament, but no empties. I got lucky. I happen to have some of this Carmine red that was almost out. So I was able to use the Carmine red spool for my Carmine red robot. Okay, so this is power output. So one, and that makes sense. The red lights is that. So how do we turn this thing on? Long press the button, 2-second indicator lights up under shutdown state, and the device starts up. It's been a while since Steve has tried to push a new tool on us. I didn't even buy these. These are borrowed. So which one do you turn on? Power in, so let's try this one. Oh, there we go. This is power level 1 through 6. So if we put these together, let's just put these just on top of each other, I think. And maybe we'll do something like this. There we go. Let's plug that in there. There. Leave these away from each other. So the way these particular spot welders work, from what I understand, is there's at least this one has a mode where once it detects conductivity, it will do the spot like half a second later or whatever. So let's just see. Let's lightly hold that there and then touch this here. Okay. It did nothing. Let's see. Here are the instructions. Manual mode, indicator light. Oh, automatic mode. So it is in. Let's try the other, because it's kind of hard to tell which direction they're talking about. So this might be automatic. Yep. So that did it, but that was on power level 1. So it didn't actually stick. So let's go to power level 2. And we'll go just to the side of that. Very light pressure, just enough to hold it in place, I think. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now, I have a feeling that didn't stick very well. But that did stick them together. Yeah, it didn't stick very well. Oh, and see, that's why I didn't want to do this on my on my Lazy Susan. Now, if you go too much power on these you can blow through the thing. So let's go to the next one up. There we go. Yep, still. Now, these probably need to be cleaned up. I mean, you don't want all this finger oil that I'm getting on them and stuff. Let's try that. And that. Let's go to the next step up. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a whole different story. That actually looks really good. I bet you that's a pretty decent connection because you can see it burned without blowing it out. So it's still just disconnected though. I think we're getting there. Put those there and let's go to the next one. It did just pull apart, and that might be cleanliness. I might be doing this with I'm leaving things too dirty too. So let's go here. Oops. Okay. Oh, that one actually. Yeah, those are just pulling apart. So I have a feeling I'm probably dirty. Let's go to max power and see what happens. The electrodes go on the same part. Yeah, what it does is once it detects conductivity, it has a delay and then it pops. Yeah, that's a lot better. The other one's tearing to pull apart, so that's max power. Let's try a piece of this. This stuff is... Okay, let's do this. Cleaning both sides. Cleaning on both sides. This is not necessarily the same, the same thickness as the other stuff. So, and where's a little piece of paper towel? The amount of pressure applied will dictate where the weld nugget is between the material. Try varying the amount of pressure you apply in your tests. Okay. There's that. I was just getting some of the dust off of there. Okay. Max power. Let's give it a little more pressure. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better. Get my Knipex pliers so I can straighten these without touching them. Try that again with a little less pressure because I felt like I had quite a bit of pressure on that one. Battery's still showing full. A little less pressure that time. It's going all the way through. Oh yeah. I can't pull that apart. Yeah, that's interesting, right? So with more pressure, I could pull it apart. That is not pulling apart. That's really good. Okay. So I wonder if I should just use this. Let me see if I can figure out. Let me see. Where's my micrometer? I don't know which is thicker. I don't know what we actually have here. .1. Oh, battery's getting low on this thing. 0.157 on that, and I'm pretty sure that this is 0.109, 108. So this is thicker by another half. I wonder if I should just use this. It's probably close to equivalent. Picture of the welders we use. Oh yeah. Interesting. What do you know what thickness of strips you use? Because I'm looking at this, and that pretty much covers that. I guess I could get more spots on that. Because I would probably go in here and trim this in kind of a, right? A little bit of a rounding on it. Try welding to the 1, 2, 3 block. No, John. Thickness or width? Yeah, which one should I use? I've got options. You will not overcurrent either of the sizes I have. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a little better because I could get more spots on it. If I did this, then I'm limited to the area there. So I feel like more spots is going to be better than thicker strip. Hey, Brian. This is the very first time I've done this. I've never used one of these. Okay, so I want to try this with the max current. Oh, I did that already. No, I didn't. Let's try this. Yeah, I should have enough of this stuff to play around with it. Let's get a strip here. When we build high current packs, we only do 2 welds per connection. Yes, but you have good equipment. What's the reason for these cells being used? Weight. Weight is the biggest reason. And yeah, form factor. Okay, so that one's clean. Oops, shoot. That one, so there and there. Let's try this. Let's try this with a max power light touch and make sure we don't blow through it. It a spark. Sparky spark. It does look good. Okay, let's try again. This is all max power. I'm gonna try to go an even lighter touch than that. Not touch the areas with my fingers that I'll be doing here. Let's try this again. That was a lighter touch. Oh yeah, I can't pull those apart. Oh, there we go. That was way stronger though, and it actually ripped holes in that. So that was a good connection. So light touch, light touch. I'm not even putting, I don't know how to quantify that, Bob, how to actually tell, but I'm not putting much on that. Let's go ahead and try a couple of cells, I think, and see what happens. We're gonna go here. That would be our thing. We want probably, where's my, see, this is what I used to use when I was building nickel metal hydride packs back in the day. I have a bunch of these battery bars, and these were all solder based. Remember, they go in a curve, not straight. They are in a curve in the robots, but when you buy these packs, they're just straight. I'm not gonna go through and first of all, if you curve this, if you try to curve this, you're not going to fit these two here anyway, you see. So when you buy these, they're a straight pack like this, and that's what Matt is using. So if you tried to curve this, you would just end up with wasted space in between them. Soldering to cells is bad, burns active material inside and ruins safety vent springs. Yes. But that is what we were doing 15, 20, probably 20 plus years ago. Here, let's see. I can't find my little ruler, so I'm going to kind of get an estimate here. Looks like about 30 millimeter strips are going to be a good length. About 30 millimeter strips. So I'm just going to cut a bunch of 30 millimeter strips. I guess I can use my longer ruler here. Just cutting some strips. We used super hot iron for a second back then. So yep, it was big tip on a powerful iron. That was what we did. We knew that it was definitely something that you don't want to. You want to let as little heat transfer as you could. That's why big tip hot iron, get a lot of energy into just that spot. Okay, how many of these am I gonna need? 1, 2, it's like four of these? Well, plus the battery tabs, but I'm gonna do those separate. I mean the wire leads. Okay, so I've got some of these, and I'm gonna cut a kind of a rounded end on them. At least chamfer the edges. Something like that. Paint some. We used to glue the cells together with shoe goo, I think it was, just to help give the pack some stability. I do have some large heat shrink that I picked up for this. Okay, those are what I'm going to do right now. Now, how am I going to do this? Okay, I am going to find some gloves. I have some gloves around here somewhere. Try to get away with just one glove. 8 between cells, all the same length, and 4 for the wire connections. What? Are you talking about doubling them up? You think I should, you think I need the capacity doubling them up? Oh, 2 packs worth. Yeah. Well, and I have to build 4 packs because I need to build Pooch's packs. Okay, so okay, there. I saw some tutorials out there where people were doubling them up, is why I asked. Wipe these off. Okay, so there's, I'll just set that right there. Two. Okay. So, oh, and then okay. I could have swore I used to have one of these that had a little spring-loaded arm to hold the tab in place. But I have no idea where that might be. Okay. Let's see how this goes. This timed out. So let's turn it on. It stayed in the mode. Are we ready? I guess so. Okay, that looks good. Just light pressure. Okay. I'm trying to get that fine line between actually pulling on it. So I'm going to put 2 more on those. It felt pretty strong, but I could feel these 2 closest ones just start to release. So that felt pretty good. I'm just going to do that. I think it's going to be fine. I don't know. Bob, should I be coming straight down on these? That's not how I saw other people. I saw other people basically come in this way. These aren't really long enough to really support that. I guess I can move them over. Not really made for that. They'd be too far apart. Yeah. Let's see. These are close enough. I guess it's what it is. I have a better way of doing this. Not great. Think we're okay? You're right. You are so right. I screwed up, Wick Central. I did. Is this thing? Yeah, battery is still high. I think I'm just gonna call it good. I mean, fortunately, this is not a high load pack. Yeah, there's some reasonable amount of force needed to make that move. So, these will be 6-shooter spot weld. Yeah, these will be fully encased in black shrink wrap, so you won't see it. I'm just gonna call that. So now this flips around, this flips around, and we go between these two. What do you think, Bob? You're my resident expert. There. We'll get it right from here on. Usually I glue the cells together, then weld. This jig works. Yeah, I mean, this is just from my little set. Old RC supplies. Okay, so that's those, and then the two more will get done together, and then they'll have to just set on the table, because I don't have I could have printed a little jig to make this easier. Oh, hit the tips with the sandpaper. Good call. Okay. So now it's there. Elastic band for the last two of the first three. That's a good call. Yep. I'll grab a... A bend in the strap. Why? A lot of 18650 battery welding jig print files. Use these cells much, probably out there. Oh, I could have modeled something easy. I could have modeled something pretty easy. I've just not had the time. Oh, that one sparked. Okay. I'm gonna call that good. Now, idea here will be that'll have to go like that, I think. And then I'll go across there, and then the other two ends will be my battery leads. And then this all goes together, and heat shrink goes around the whole thing. So let me get some rubber bands, and I think I've got some in the kitchen. I'll be right back. There we are. Should always be a service. Oh yeah, but there's, I mean, this isn't, yeah, when these get pressed together, held together, see? There's enough. There's nice thick cases. Lithium is very thin walled. If you weld lithium, remember a cell wall blowout equals a fire. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna grab these and I think we'll do 2 loops. And then some shifting things around. Yeah, these are not wanting to sit. There we go. That's better. It's not great. What can I do here? Get these? No, I can't get those in there. Printed jig would have been nice. I think it's just a matter of relieving the rubber band enough to get this to sit well. I think those will be okay. Maybe the trick is two rubber bands. One down lower, one up higher. Yeah. Oops. Just a twist. So here. I think right across there, right there. Okay. And then I need to cut a couple more of these strips. 1, 2, 3 for this pack. One more. Okay, 3, my gauge one, and then cut the corners. Okay, 1. Oh, so I think my plan is to cut some shorter ones of these and solder on one end my silicone battery lead, silicone insulated battery lead, and solder that to one end and then spot weld the other end to the end of the battery. Get these sanded. At least this one's sanded. I think that's the way to go. I don't know any other way that I would be able to do it. Okay, so now this. Goes right there. All right. And I think that is right. right? Trying to keep these centered. Done a pretty good job so far. Darn it. It timed out. Okay. Okay. So now my positive output there, negative output there, and I think if I take a thing here, put it here, and wrap it around and solder there, right? I want it to be as short as possible. So maybe make that, cut a new one so I'm not wasting any of this. But I need one just a little longer than this. Here to about there. Yeah, I think that'll do. I don't want it too long. It needs to be long enough to reach the positive side one too. So I'll make it just the next one just a little longer than this. There we go. Okay, so single load makes very little sense if you touch the strip with the other hand. I'm not touching the strip with the other hand after I clean it. I'm not touching it with the other hand after I clean it. And if I touch it, I'm touching it very carefully on like barely touching the edges like this. For the couple of times I have, it's been just on the edge. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. This out of the way. Can I turn that off? Yep. Okay, so that's off. Still make sure those don't touch. There we go. Let's put a fatter tip on my iron. there, and then let me get some of the wire. Okay. Will the distance between the electrodes have a big impact? I don't know. That's a great question. So now I am dealing with this is the slightly shorter strip. So I think, what is this one? Yeah, this is the slightly shorter strip. So that one's a full 30. Where's the other one I cut? I thought I cut another short one. Oh, maybe it's the same length. Okay. That's fine. When you fix all this, it sounds like a Harry Potter spell to me. Carepoo. Yeah, they're not expensive. Okay, we are going, let me just leave this long. Just leave this long for now. And let's heat this up. The newer version of this spot welder has a little display on it, and you can change the amount of delay between it detecting conductivity and doing the spot weld. Okay, sure things are out of the way. What's over here? Let's see how this works out. So let's get some. Good bit of heat into here. And then let's see if this will solder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that flowed like butter. That was fantastic. That is not quite flowed enough for the end. I can see some bare wires there. So I'm going to just make sure we have full encapsulation of that. Yeah, that's better. Now, get both of these hot enough. Hold that nice and steady. See the fillets on the side? It's a nice shiny, good joint. Solder. Oh yeah, that's a good joint. That will do. I'm gonna bend this over there. This is the negative side. This is going to go right like that. So how long do I want these leads is the question. I kind of want this actually coming over in the middle here, because I want this coming out. The shrink wrap is going to go over here, and this stuff is going to come out pointing that way. So I think I'm going to make this kind of be all the way over here. And this is, let me just double check. Yeah, that's the negative side of the pack. Just making double sure. The question is, how long do I want these leads? It's going to come out this way. And what I'd like to do is cut this lead. Maybe I'll just cut this a little long. think that's going to be it. So now this is going to come down here. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'll just do it right there. Right like that. What do you think? And that goes right down the side. Yes, I agree with the glue. The plan, I think, is to put a dab of or drop a glob of shoe goo, because shoe goo works great for this kind of stuff, in here where the wires are coming out, to help strain relieve them. Too late, it moved. Right there. Right there is where we're gonna go. Let's turn this on. This is not going to be centered. It's just too hard to get this to behave. That'll just have to be what it is. Okay, friction. There we go. We can go all the way over. Yeah. I'm pretty good about that. Okay, so that comes there, and this will come out there. And yeah, I will definitely put a drop of glue in there. Now the other side. So we're going to set this aside and grab the end here. Let's look at a cell here. I haven't cleaned these yet. That one doesn't need to be that long. Ah, that's no. That's not what we want. So if I do that, just take this, because this one's sized for the battery strips, and I don't want to use more of this than I need to. Let's cut this. There. Bend over like that. There. Okay. Sand it. Andrew, thanks for the super chat. Okay, put that back over there. The edges. Go. The positive lead. And heat up. Heat up. Is this going to have an XT90 or similar connector coming out? No, this will have XT60. XT60. Which is still overkill for this bot. An XT30 would be fine. However, XT30s are just too small of a connector. There's one spot where you need to double up the conductors. Okay. Get some heat on there. There we are. Much better than last time. There we go. As the solder melts from the wire, you see the other side fillet form. It's good. Okay. Oh. Now, in order for this to be about the same length, just do this. So they're coming about the same spots. Oh. That's gonna go. I gotta go through both of those. Oops, I forgot to. Bunch of soldering repair videos recently. They have so much really cool gear. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's still on. Should be able to, because that's sitting pretty much where I want it. Right there is pretty good. Okay. It's interesting. Here, watch those the strips in the back when this pops. Okay, let's turn that off. There is pack. So if I set that like that, and yeah, the pulse. Ooh, I'm starting to get cluttered here. So now this will come out. I think how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And how am I mean, I'm not going to be able to do this with, here's my shoe goo. This stuff works really well, but there's no way that this is going to be dry enough by the time we're, okay, I want that to be something like that. I think. Am I going to get that to stay? Well, I guess hot glue. What do you guys think? I mean, this is going to take a while to cure, but hot glue is definitely going to be a quicker process. Use a medium CA glue with no accelerator. Accelerators make the shrink brittle. That makes sense. Let me do hot glue. Worst case, I peel it off later. I got to go get my hot glue gun, though. I think it's in the other garage. I'll be right back. We may be going CA route. Heats in 10, yeah. If it's not over here, then I have no idea where it is. I don't use it often at all. Oh, this thing old and cheap. I have a different one. Where is it? I'd rather use CA glue than this one. I've seen it recently. I don't know where. Yeah, I think we're going to use CA glue. Yeah, I think we're going to use CA glue, but I'm going to try this. Try a different stuff. Take this off. My hand's getting sweaty. We're going to use CA glue, I think. And doing this. Take some heat shrink. That is just size for these. Yep. I think that'll do. Maybe cut this in half. Did I just heard something? So the shoe fix CA is good stuff. This should be similar and equivalent. This is from my local hobby shop, but it's the Bob Smith Industries. Does one need a BMS for a pack like that? What is BMS? There we go. I wanted to put some heat shrink on here and close in there to kind of hold those. I'll put some dabs of, let's hold this like this. And I'm gonna make sure those are being held even. Then I'm gonna put a dab of CA glue down in there. Now we used to have sleeves that we'd put over the whole thing so you could glue them together and not actually glue the packs. Battery management system, got it. God, I want to use that, but whatever. Okay, just making sure that I don't create a crooked pack here, and I'm just going to put a couple of little dabs. Just like that. Moisture, right? Those aren't even. I could take a little bit. It's not thick. It's fairly thin. It's medium. It's medium. Oh, that's doing pretty good. It didn't take long. They're not shifting anymore. Holding these together, I might be better off using tape, actually, Rod. I might be better off using tape. I don't know if it's worth trying to glue. I'm not going to try to glue the cells together. I'm going to make that come out the center. And I'm going to just put some CA glue. Jeez, is that even going to help? I have a feeling these might be okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'll find my hot glue gun. I'll assemble this. I'll find my hot glue gun because the opening of the heat shrink is going to be over here. And I'll use hot glue to hold this in place for a strain relief. Zip tie would probably be a good idea too. You're right, Stuart. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to shrink the pack, and then I'll use some hot glue to strain relief the wires coming out because I'll have full access to that. So these go in here. So this goes here, and this wire will have room to sneak through here or go up into this hole. This goes in there like that. And then the other one goes with the wire going the other direction. Hey, Neil. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to attempt to CA glue these together or the packs together. I am going to shrink this to give some control of those leads. And then I'm going to put heat shrink over the whole thing. Okay, where's the heat shrink? Big old thing of the thin type heat shrink that you see on these types of things. The question is, how long should it be? I have no idea. What do we think? Something like that? About 10 millimeters over on either side. Let's try it. I've got plenty of this. Oops. Sharing with you and Pooch is really fun to watch. That's good to hear, Neil. I always have a good time doing those streams with Pooch. Okay, let's pull this apart. This whole thing slides into here. What's the shrink factor on that? I don't know. It's made for battery packs, and this is what I thought I calculated as an ideal thing. So it's about the same size on either side. So let's just see. I may want to grab my ooh. This is the first time I've done this, so I might have gotten it a little hot right there. Let me grab my that is not pretty. But the shrink factor is yes. Let me see what happens if I hit this with the bigger heat gun. This is, I feel like it's working out pretty darn good. A little bit. Oh yeah, this just kind of smooths right out with more heat. Oh, too much. Too much, but holy moly, did that. A little bit. You just kind of fold that in. Fold that in. I feel like that'd be fine until, oops. But yeah, that'll be perfectly fine. That will be fine. This goes. Toss it in the microwave. Here. I feel like I might have to tweak my main power wires here, but this will go. That'll go in. Yeah, all the power connections will have to happen outside, so these need to be tweaked. These are way too long. Probably a lot of this is too long. This is the charge lead. This is an XT30 for the charge lead. This is the Spool Bot. our Chapman. It's a Prusament spool robot. This module goes in between here. Okay, that is a tight fit in there. Why are you not coming out now? There we go. Yeah, I'll get some hot glue down in there, but I'm gonna want to redo this and be a little more careful. 2 kilogram. It's based on the 2 kilogram spool, but I don't think I could double it up either. I don't think I can double this stuff up. That probably hit, yeah, it hit the edge there, and that was a pressure point for that rip to start. Okay, we'll try that again. Sharp edge. So can I take this and just kind of grab something soft here and kind of roll that over that edge? Same thing here. Just form this and just kind of roll that. If that'll make a difference or not, but it's worth trying. I think the length I had was pretty good. I don't know that I would change it much. But I think I will go straight to the higher power. I have some Kapton tape. I'd have to find it, so we'll try this one more time. Okay. So that's going to go there, and I'm going to have to go to the big gun right away. So I want to hold this pretty close. Ooh. Ooh. Could have gone a little longer on that, but I'm going to call this one okay. Could have gone a little longer, but for right now, I'm not going to redo this. Ooh, that is not straight. Hopefully it fits in the pack okay. Everything else is looking pretty good. It's hard to make sure everything is straight. That's, I guess, where maybe that's where some hot glue in between the cells would be handy, because then I can make sure that it's all going together well. And then, like I said, I'll put some hot glue in there too and push this in, and that'll do that. But this shrink wrap is really tough once it's shrunk. Yeah, no rips. Okay. can I, because I really, the whole pack thing, and it's already 1 o'clock. Can I fit this in here so we can run this? Figure out what's going on with it and run it. The problem is Pooch was able to fit his 1500 milliamp pack in. I don't think I can. I don't think this one actually fits. I don't know why. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Aha! There we go. Okay. I'd like to run this as kind of the topper to the stream. The garage clock isn't working? Oh, the battery's died. Okay, this guy's got to go back through here. Okay, so that goes there. This goes in here. This comes around and plugs in. Plugs in there. So that has to kind of tuck in there. And this guy is, maybe this guy can help hold the wires. There we go. And there's a little bit of space on the side here, so I'll just assemble and line the next 3 for efficiency. You've done 1, or is it not worth it? I will probably assembly line it, yeah. No, I need to remember not to trim both wires. Oh yeah, I'm well aware of. Okay, so that should keep those. There's some space here, so that should keep that together. Let's figure out what's going on with the thing. Let's see what's going on with it. Not appearing to work right. So if we go this way, I think everything is plugged in. It's plugged in. Let's calibrate it again. Hey, Bearded Printer. Yeah, the bot is basically done. I was building battery packs. So I have 3 more to make, and I need to find my hot glue gun. I don't know exactly where it is, because I think having these cells lined up before I shrink them is going to be important, because these are, you can see it's shifted this way. So let's plug this in. And go here, because something. Oh, where's my mouse? Mouse. Let's see. So here is this. Should be able to turn this on. Okay, we are connected. The green light is on. We go see here. I'll put it into moving the stick around. When done, return to center, press a key to start. And I think you press a key and send. Oops, I put it into a, there we are. Yeah, I wasn't getting things changing last time. So that's full motion. Okay, so that should be saved, I think. I wasn't getting those values changing last time I did that earlier in the stream. So now I should be able to unplug this and turn it on. Now on. No, now it's just going. Something's not right, because this is not what it was doing before. Okay, I want to try something else. Let's turn this off. I may have put this into a mode, so let's reflash the controller. Let's reflash it. Let's turn this off. Turn that off. Let's go here and verify and compile. Okay, done compiling. So now we should be able to upload it. It's going to recompile. Uploading, doing all the things. Done uploading. Okay. So now I can turn this back on. And then see the calibration mode. Any key. And run through, there we are. And then save. Okay, so that is all done and saved. Now we can disconnect and turn back on. This should, no, it's just going straight to forward. It's responding to things, but it's also not trying to stay upright. So something is still wrong. So let's go through and check our wiring, which is going to be a bit of a pain. Wiring. This out of the way, this here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So when I did this, this is the left motor. Oh, yeah, motors are in the wrong spot. So left motor goes to, looking at the controller this way, the left terminals. I've got them backwards. So let's start there. Got them backwards. The IMU is connected and it's turning on. I saw lights, but I think the very first thing is we've got motors in backwards spots. So I've got right motor in those these terminals, and here left motor should go there. So very right off, those are backwards. But that is an easy, clean switch. Okay. Left and right swapped. So left encoder, yellow and white, do go to the outer one. So I think all of that is correct. So let's just turn it on and see what happens. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's responding to, wow, what a difference. Just having those swapped. Now it's responding to trying to balance. That's what it's doing there. Is as I move this, it's trying to balance. See you, Neil. Awesome. And then yep. Okay. Turn it off. Let's turn this off. This off. And let's get it put in its thing. Okay, so this was apparently can be a pain. So this, I'm gonna line this up. The little tabs in here are what we're really focusing on. And then this will line these tabs up to match. This goes in. Okay, so that's straight in there. Now I need to feel where these are. So I need to go right like that. There we go. Yeah, right like that. Then we need 4 of these guys. It's through there. I should probably drill out the holes in this spool. But I'm going to do that, because this is just going to take forever to do these. And it's not going to be right anyway. So I'm not going to drill them out. I'm going to grab my reamer. Just do a quick ream on those. Go. Well, the problem is that those are not guaranteed to match up with the heat sets it needs to thread into when that happens. So I'm just going to do there we go. Okay. That's there. This is on right like that. Okay, so let's turn our receiver on, our power switch here, and this is going to do a little yoop, little thing. Now that, whoa. Okay, let's put this camera on. Needs a power access. Well, the magnetic thing is not too bad. There we are. Okay. Oh, that's... It works. Drift. Oh, we're not done yet. We got one more thing to do. Can't tell what way is forward. Nice. Okay. Hit channel 3 to turn it off. Okay, last thing. Last thing. Go here and figure out where I put the things. It must be here. Yeah, here we go. Googly eyes. That's why you have the googly eyes. Okay. Let's do this. And go. I'm going to wrap the filament around it. Not right now. Okay, that is that side, so forward is that way. This guy goes on here. There we go. That goes there. The only problem here that I see is that this side has to come off every time the there we go. Yeah, and I turned it off, so we gotta pull this whole thing out, turn it. Oh, nope. That was it was on already. Darn it. Yeah, this has to come on and off every time, which is kind of, it is what it is. That goes there. That goes. Okay. There we go. Now, it is not balanced right now. I've got a battery on one side, so I think that its PID loop, all of that is going to be wonky right now. When I put the two nickel metal hydride packs in there, I think it's going to work a whole lot better. But It's looking for its contact lens. It's looking for the lost screws. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. There we are. Now, yes, there is a spot here. Yeah, you start a bit of filament and wrap it around so it looks a little more realistic. There's some droopy filament there that's going to end up in the way, so clean that up, but I will do that before I take it to the UK. But yeah, it is effectively done. It is effectively done. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. But yeah. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I am going to now get prepped for tomorrow because I haven't finished setting the dock location on Stealth Changer. I ran into a little weirdness, but I think I can get past it. Just have to figure it out. So, what the dogs would do if I built one. To use all ferrous screws. So, anyway, thanks again. Thanks for being members. Hope to see you tomorrow if you're going to be at SMRRF. I look forward to seeing you. And yeah, there will not be any weekday streams next week. And there won't be a stream next Sunday. So, because I'll be in England. With that, take care, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow. Enjoy the build. Bye. When do I leave? Mid next week. Just a couple of days. I only have a couple of days of prep.